Billy Joel's Piano Man, a real classic. We're going to take a look today at how you go from reading the lead sheet that you see in front of you to playing something more like I just played with a really interesting accompaniment to go along with this song. Let's just dive right into it. The two most complicated chords in the entire piece are these two that I find at the beginning of the piece. First, I have a D minor 7th chord, and all I have to do is from the D, build a D minor chord, count up 3 more half steps, 1, 2, 3, and that gives me my D minor 7th chord, followed by my D diminished 7th chord, in which all the steps are minor thirds, or 3 half steps. So starting with the D, I count up 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, that's my second note. Count up 3 more, 1, 2, 3, there's my third note. Count up 3 more, 1, 2, 3, there's my fourth note. So those are the notes of the D diminished 7th chord. Notice coming from my D minor chord, all I have to do is take these two notes, move them down a half step, and that gives me my D diminished 7th chord. The figuration that he plays there in the right hand, you can see from the video that I played, there's this interesting little lick at the beginning. And now we get down to the song proper. Now, starting here with the C major chord, you'll notice that we have a descending bass line. We have a C, and then we have a B, and an A, and a G, F, E, all the way down to D. Now let's take a look at why that is and how that happens. So we're starting on our C major chord. C major is pretty straightforward, just the notes C, E, G. And now I have a G/B. What that means is I need a G major chord, but I need a B on the bottom of it, essentially. G/B means B on the bottom of a G major chord. Well, let's first find our G major chord. Here's our G major chord. Now, my bottom note here is a G, but I need the B on the bottom. So all I'm going to do is take this G and move it up here. So now I have B on the bottom of my G major chord. Same thing with the F major chord. I need an F major chord with an A on the bottom. Here's my F major chord. Here's my A, so I'm going to set that as the bottom note. I'm going to put my A, C, and my F is going to go up here on the top. So now I have A on the bottom. Now a C over G is the same thing. Here's the notes of my C major chord arranged so that G is on the bottom. G, C, E. My F major chord is not altered. It's in root position. Then I have a C over E, so again, the notes C, E, G, but arranged so that E is on the bottom. And now my D7 chord. Here's a D major chord. A 7th, 1, 2, 3 half steps up above gives me my D7th. To make it a little easier, we can often do this with 7 chords. Leave out one of the notes that's not the 7th, so either one of these two middle notes. I'm going to just leave out the A, and that gives me this for that chord. Okay, so I have a lot of slash chords in this piece. Slash refers to chords like G over B or F over A. Sometimes people say G/B or F/A. That just tells me which bass notes I need on the bottom of the chord. A couple other chords to look at least one, the C major 7th chord here. Here's a C chord, and a major 7th chord means I have to build a major 7th from the bass, and a major 7th is 1 step less than an octave. So if you find the octave, the C here, go down 1 half step. That gives you your C major 7th chord. Right, C major 7. So now that we've got those chords and we know how to build them, we're going to go from playing the chords themselves to turning it into an accompaniment like this. Now, all I have to do in order to do that, it's very simple, is on every single chord that I'm playing, say for example my C major chord, I play the lower note and then the upper two twice. I have 3 beats per measure, so I need to fill 3 beats. That's why I play 1, 2, 3. And going on, my G over B becomes 1, 2, 3, F over A, C over G, F, C over E, D7, and G. And you can go ahead and hold out the bottom notes if you want to, and so forth. Now create a little emphasis on the first note of every measure in the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That'll help give this song this sort of dance-like quality and this 3/4 feeling in it, a bit like a waltz. And in the right hand, we really want to sing out that melody. Remember, the right hand is essentially the human voice in this piece. That's the singer, whereas the left hand is doing everything else. So when we play... really play deeply into the keys in the right hand. We don't want it to get covered up by the left hand like this. You notice that doesn't sound nearly as good. We really want that melody to come out. Now let's talk quickly about the pedal. Very simply, just lift it once per measure and put it right back down every time on beat 1. So starting in measure 3, up, down, up, down, up, down, and so forth. You'll see how I do that. You can watch the video to the first video, the beginning of the video, to see how I use the pedal in this piece, but it's very straightforward. In pretty much every place, I just lift it up on beat 1, change it with every single chord. Now there's a couple places in this piece where I have multiple chords in the same measure, and there I have to change it on every beat because I have new harmonies, and I don't want them to get blurred together. So for example, this measure, you'll see how I change on every chord. Change, 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 and so on. That's really all you need to know in order to be able to play Billy Joel's Piano Man. Don't forget, you can always slow down the video or loop a tricky section. Hope you enjoy working on it, and I will see you in the next video.